So let me take you back to a week ago. I was working on this stunning, remote tropical island completely surrounded by nature. And you know how it is when you're in a place like that. Everything feels magical. The sunsets are breathtaking, and the wildlife is just buzzing with energy. But when you work in these isolated spots, you have to stick to some pretty strict rules to stay safe. One of my golden rules: don't pick up anything unless you know exactly what it is. Simple, right? But as fate would have it, I forgot that rule entirely. It was late at night, and I had this sudden urge to do some photography. I grabbed my camera and headed out towards the tide pools. Now let me set the scene for you. It was dark, the waves were crashing, and I was about 2 kilometers away from camp, far enough that my phone had zero reception. As I wandered around, I started to notice some fish that were washed up on the rocks. It was a real treasure trove of sea life, and the photographer in me was thrilled. Then I spotted something that caught my eye. There, wedged upside down in a crevice, was what I thought was a hermit crab. But here's where things took a turn. I reached down and picked up what I assumed was a small shell, a baby conch, or so I thought. But wait for it. It wasn't a conch at all. It was a cone snail, a living, breathing cone snail. And let me tell you, this little guy was not happy to be picked up. As soon as I lifted it, I felt it whip its barb around. I could practically hear my heart stop. I mean, I had no idea these things could be so aggressive. You see, the cone snails I'd seen in photos looked completely different, so I had no clue I was holding something potentially lethal. Panic set in as I realized just how careless I had been. I quickly dropped it back onto the rocks and took a few steps back, my mind racing. What if I'd been stung? What would I even do? So, naturally, I thought about the first aid training we had. I remember asking our camp medic what to do if something like this ever happened. He just chuckled and said, "Ventilator." Not exactly the reassuring advice I was hoping for. In that moment, it hit me. Here I was, on a remote island, thinking I was invincible, and I nearly made a life-threatening mistake. And it was all because I had forgotten where I was. Living in Australia, you hear stories about the dangers. Snakes, spiders, jellyfish, the list goes on. But honestly, it's the little things that you don't think about that can really get you. Like that cone snail, just chilling there, waiting for the next unsuspecting soul to come along and make a mistake. After that, I decided to call it a night. I walked back to camp, my heart still racing, and vowed to never let my guard down again. I mean, seriously, everything here can kill you. And here's the kicker. I thought I was being adventurous, but really, I was just being reckless. It's a reminder that sometimes we forget to respect our surroundings, especially when we think we know them well. So what about you? Have you ever had a moment where you completely forgot about the dangers around you? I'd love to hear your stories in the comments below.